is everybody? Good morning. Welcome to the Transparency. It is Tuesday. It's 11:11. Make a wish. Nancy Guthrie, a social media presence and trip down memory lane. We're going to take us behind the scenes, and one of those topics is going to be the scandal at NBC in 2017 with Matt, the co-host and anchor of the Today Show. At the end of December in 2024, going into 2025, Savannah Guthrie was outspoken about not bringing back in any capacity the disgraced and famed Matt Lauer back to NBC in any capacity with the Today Show. So something that I thought was interesting is if you're going to make a list of, people that could ever want to, I don't know, get revenge on you, let's say, is it worth taking a look and putting him on that list? Sad to say, but I wanted to take a trip down memory lane if I was going to look into something. So 1971, Savannah was born, as you guys, if you don't know, Melbourne. Charles was her dad's name. And then in 1975, remember, I told you guys that the house that Nancy has lived in right now and has been living in since 1975, that's where Savannah and her sister and brother all grew up, in that house where she was taken. She graduated from the University of Arizona. She's a Wildcat with a BA in journalism in 1993. She started her broadcasting career out of Montana with a local station, KTVM. In 1995, she worked at NBC affiliate KVOA in Tucson, Arizona. So I wanted to know if she had any ties to Tucson local media, and she does, and she did. Now, in 2001, obviously everybody knows 2001, 9/11, she covered major stories, including the September 11th attack and the attack on the Pentagon, and the 2001 anthrax attacks with WRC-TV, NBC's owned and operated station in Washington, D.C. The reason she was in Washington, D.C. is because guess what? In 2002, she graduated. Again, she graduated with ridiculous honors, but she graduated from Georgetown University of Law in 2002. 2007, then joined NBC News as a legal analyst and correspondent. 2008, became a White House correspondent for NBC News. 2012, co-anchored the Today Show, succeeding Ann Curry. And then a big gap there between 2012 to 2025. If you want to ask like what, and I think it's because if I was to ask questions what was going on between 2012 and 2025, well, I think it depends on what side of the coin you want to be on. But in 2025, she obviously continuing to lead the Today Show with confidence and strong interviewing skills. So I said, well, let's clear up what that 2012 to 2025 little gap's all about. People try to stay away from that time frame, and I think I know why. Obviously, political. So, there's been a lot of talk about Savannah's sister Annie. So I wanted to dig into, Annie and Savannah's relationship. Well, right before this happened, I should say like right before, but not too much before this, we had some birthdays in the month of January that were being celebrated, and her mom was one of them. So Nancy's birthday was in January at the end there, January 27th. And so this was just right after her birthday. So, in case anybody doesn't know that. Now, Christmas time this past 2025, they had the whole family together in Arizona. And there's pictures of them at the house, Nancy's house. They all have matching pajamas on. And that includes Annie and her man. So let's see. Looking at, I just picked a couple of things off of her Facebook page I thought were interesting. In 2017, this was a post that she posted on May 14th, which is thanking God for the greatest blessing in life, to be a daughter to this mom and to be mom to these two angels, because she had a picture of her children. Happy Mother's Day to all. Now, they did a segment on the Today Show just not too long ago. It was a sisterhood episode. And so I have that clip. I'm going to play that. This is their humor. Again, you can find this on her Facebook page. It's public. But she took a screenshot of her mom. Her daughter's name is Vale, V-A-L-E. But when you would do talk to text, it would come out as V-A-I-L. Okay. So her mom, this is, I wanted to know about technology with her mom. Well, here her mom does voice to text. Okay. That's pretty, like, you know, it's like she's got it going on. But it said, Vale and I took a very short walk and bought a Diet Coke and a bottle of wine for her. And then on the right-hand side, it is Savannah saying Chardonnay or a nice Pinot. But this was their humor. And she's like, when mom texts using dictation, like, and I'm like, that's absolutely hilarious. But she was using the text to talk in 2017. All right. And I think that is relevant with people saying who Nancy is. Nancy was with it, like tech savvy. Yes, absolutely. She, you know, she was with it. She may be 84, but I bet you she was like a 65-year-old. You know, people, when they say like 40 is the new 20, like 84 is the new 65. So I wanted to go through last night. This is what I was doing. And I was looking for, you know, pictures / posts that brought out like who they were as people before January 30th. And Savannah and Annie were very, very close. In fact, in college, they did not want to leave their mother alone on the weekends. So they would switch off on who would go and like stay with mom, because they didn't want to like leave her alone, because right after her dad died, Annie, like, it was like off to college type. That's when it happened at the end of her high school career. And so they didn't want to leave her mom. And her mom was like, no, you're going. Like, I wouldn't have done my job if you aren't going to, you need to go, you know, fly. But this is a very, very close knit family. And they always looked out for each other. So that makes perfect sense as to getting a phone call, not going to church, boom, on it, over at the house. Like, that's not like her. People saying that, why didn't they have better security for her mom? That's just absolutely ridiculous. So I wanted to bring out some of the stuff to you guys today that I found enlightening and could benefit from. Now let's play some videos. All right, so we're going to share this page. This is her Facebook page. And this is right before. So as you can see here, January 27th at 8:47 p.m. And then the next post is February 2nd. So this was her last post before this all happened. And it was about like no one like Al Roker. So she posted that. She does a lot of posts about the books that she's done. She just had surgery. So she had her vocal cords. She had actually a really intensive surgery. She couldn't talk for like 8 days afterwards. I didn't realize how bad her voice was getting. I don't really watch the Today Show. No knock on the Today Show, but so she had the surgery at the beginning of January and then had to like obviously rest up, couldn't talk for a straight 8 days, had to use a whiteboard. Okay. Like we all love our whiteboards. But here, this is the December 27th. This is actually pictures. If you look in the background, this is in Tucson. This gives me every belief that this is in Tucson. This is in actually her mom's home. And so I was looking at these pictures because I thought that they were relevant for the layout of the house. All right. And to see that, I mean, if somebody out there thinks that this is not Tucson, by all means, but do you see the interior? Do you see those windows? This most certainly looks like it's Tucson and that home. But again, this is on her public Facebook page right there, that picture. But this is the last time that I think she was with her mom, was for Christmas. And if you zoom in and you look, I believe this room right here with its little like Christmas light up tree like that. I'm curious if that was on in those little lights like that, or did she take all that down? Was it like just like a festive thing? But and then I was like, okay, it's for sure. It's for sure Tucson. Because look at this. This is right here. This is looking out her mom's window. And what is that? The good old cacti area that JLR is walking through. Okay. Let me make this bigger. Again, so oops. I wanted to scroll down to right here. This is again at the house. Let me take those down. Okay. That's the window of guest house. You can see driveway coming to garage right front. So I was going through these and I was like, oh my, see, I was like, this is the house she grew up in. That's her mom and that's her. That's Nancy and that's Savannah. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it just. So that was posted on May 11th. So again, right around Mother's Day, if not on Mother's Day. I love you, Mama. Remember how they were saying mama, mommy? Like these were all the names that they call her. Well, if you go back and you look, it's exactly how, like, that's just what it is. Um, she posts a lot about the books that she had written, and this is the most recent one. Um, this is on April 11th, and she's posting. Okay, so she's on the right, her sister's in the middle, and then that's her brother. Well, look at them. Look at these. You totally know these are like the 70s and 80s. But they were really very, very close family. So I just think it's wild to say that Annie had something to do with this. If you actually like go and deep dive, no, not at all. Um, now it would be horrible if her boyfriend, husband, whatever, if he had something to do with this on his own with other people, that would just be god awful, you know? I don't see it that way though, but we'll see. Could be. So, all right, moving on. I want to show you this video. So this is her book tour. Oh, there we go. A big cheers and a happy birthday to this beaut. So this is the post, January 27th of 2025. Um, again, like I told you guys, she just had a birthday right before this happened. And there was no post. I have to go back and check, but go back and check and see if there's a post on the 27th of 2026. Okay, so December 20th, 2024. A beautiful night with my mom and sis. So again, this is people that say that they're not close or that something was wonky. Yeah, I don't think it's with this dynamic, but again, everybody looks happy on social media, right? They're going out and they're like doing things. There was just a lot of love and respect, and they've been through a lot together. So again, that was in December of 2024, right for the holidays. And then didn't realize that they were such Eagles fans. There's some stuff about, obviously the Olympics. She still posted a decent amount still on Facebook. I wonder if she did that for if she just had a crossover where it would post it to both like Instagram and Facebook. Um, but I want to show you guys the sisterhood thing. Uh, Look at these earlier day pics. Wild. Um, Mom and I loved it. So they went June 5th. She does this episode though, and it's a sisters episode. Look at that. My mama and her mama, generations. Look at that. Like, hmm. Happy Mother's Day to this gorgeous, original, intelligent, resolute, noble, faithful, sparkling beauty of a soul, my dear mama. Now cue in Tupac, dear mama. So again, that picture, that's a new picture. Looks like they're at a tennis. Is that they're at a tennis match? Look at them. Her son looks like her brother. There's all four of them. This made me cry. Like I was so like when I saw this picture, I was like, oh my God. Yes, I have that one. I want to show the one that's the sister one with the after the Bushes made a book. Like just heartbreaking. Look at this. And then I don't know if they did this recently, but all of her videos that have to do with her mom do not have the voice, or maybe she did that for her kids' voices as well. But she made it so that you can't like hear the voice of her mom or hear the voice. And I don't know if somebody told her to get on the internet and do that with all these videos so that stuff with AI couldn't have been done to use her voice to make like a mimic of it. So like I thought about that. I was like, I wonder if because I didn't get on here right away to search how her page was in the beginning before this happened. But like this video right here, I find it hard to believe that it was not that it did not have the audio. In fact, it did, but I'm curious if they were able to. I mean, again, maybe she did it ahead of time when she actually uploaded it. She didn't want her kids' voices on there, and she didn't want her mom's voice on there. But I thought that that was interesting, seeing where we're at now. Boom, she gets taken, and in that last, well, not the last one, but one of the messages to the public that was talking to the person that they thought took her, um, talking about things can be faked and stuff like that. So again, that was the post for Mother's Day 2024. Um, Again, this is her promoting this book. Um, very spiritual, upbeat. Um, like I said, close to the family. But there's this one. Hopefully, it's not didn't come down. I could probably find it on YouTube, but let me play the other one. Um, damn. Oh boy. Okay, got it. Wow. Maybe I didn't save it there. Thank you, Murky. I wanted the I was looking for the sisterhood one though. If you have the one with the sisterhood one. Oh wait. Why isn't it letting me go any further? That's bullshit. All right.
It wasn't long after Savannah joined the Today Show family that we all fell in love with the matriarch of our own family, Nancy Guthrie.
So this won't be one of those easy at-home recipes.
No.
Okay, tell me about what we have.
Not very healthy either.
Okay, that's fine. Not healthy and not easy.
A mother who loves her family fiercely, a woman with deep conviction who always tells the truth.
I wanted to be God.
You want it to be, but Annie was.
Even worse, you were like a poser. I was a poser.
She was a preppy poser.
I was. Mom, you're like killing my rep around here.
She's raised 3 kids with grace, grit, and resilience, always encouraging them to pursue their dreams.
It was really hard for me to leave her. And that's when she said, if you can't leave me, then I didn't do my job right, Savannah.
A champion for her family, but for us here at Today, too.
There's a #1 member of your book club who loves you more than anyone.
You would think it'd be my mother.
Nope, it is my mother. Her name is Nancy Guthrie.
Not only is Nancy an avid reader, she treasures her time with her friends over mahjong, a game she's played since the 70s.
Savannah, this is my original mahjong set that Dad brought me back from Singapore.
Nancy has shown us she's always
There you go. That's her voice right there.
she's played since the 70s.
Savannah, this is my original mahjong set that Dad brought me back from Singapore.
Nancy has shown us she's always curious and always up for an adventure, traveling back to Savannah's birthplace, Melbourne, Australia, on Today.
Seeing the very place you were born is not something most people get to do or
That's
see.
true.
To get to go back with my mom, it's just really special.
Special time. Amazingly awesome.
But Nancy's heart is in Tucson.
Well, Mom, you guys came here in the 70s and you'd been moving all around. What made you want to stay in Tucson and plant roots?
And so wonderful. Just the air, the quality of life is laid back and gentle.
Perhaps her most precious offering, Nancy's family has always been guided by her deep, unwavering.
Yeah. So when I found that she stayed in Tucson, 1975, boom. I did find there is, I think, some property that's associated with her at other places. So I don't know if they bought, places or she did, to have a summer home, or I shouldn't even say summer home, but like vacation.
Faith.
The greatest gift my mother gave me was faith and belief in God. It changed my whole life.
And her love.
My kids are absolutely amazing. So
They sure are
We want you.
absolutely amazing.
Love you, Mama.
So
I
sad.
think for all of us who just have gotten to know her and love her, it is personal.
Yeah. Yeah. So think about this though. Like if somebody is going to, okay, hey, I'm going to take Nancy Guthrie, like you would have been going through all of this, all of the social medias, right? So, boy, super sad. Summer place, winter place, Airbnb place. I just noticed that there was other addresses associated with her name. So it's not like she's only had one address. But this has been her home in Tucson where she was taken. This is where they grew up. All of their childhood memories, everything. And then if you go and you look at Nancy's Facebook, so let's go. And you go to look at Nancy's. She was outspoken. People. It's like so the last post that she made on Facebook was January 27th at 6:15. And it's about Trump and ICE murder victim Alex Preddy. And then Let's see what else we got here. January 21st. January 21st. January 20th. If ICE takes me, don't forget about me. Oh my gosh. So a child's note to a friend has gone viral on social media. Now, do you see how it just has like and share? And do you see how it has you can't comment? I'm curious, see how they had to have changed that after the fact. So people were going on her page and commenting. And so they took that ability off. So she was very open about whatever she wanted to post on social media, how she felt. But what I can tell is that these used to be able to be comments. See? And they took that off. Here you go. Right here. This is the picture I'm talking about. So they're all together in Tucson. Right there. I believe that the comments were taken off though after she left. So this is all of them, you know, for the holidays. Oracle is within my heart concerning the sinfulness of the wicked. There is no fear of God before his eyes. For in his own eyes he flatters himself too much to detect or hate his sin. The words of his mouth are wicked and deceitful. He has ceased to be wise and to do good. Even on his bed he plots evil. He commits himself to a sinful course and does not reject what is wrong. Your love, O Lord, reaches to the heavens, your faithfulness in the skies, your righteousness is like the mighty mountains. Well, again, that was December 25th. Like I said, they were all together in Tucson. And then literally 30 days, a month later. So, okay. Let's go back. Now, according to People Magazine, or Us Weekly rather, after her mom was taken, Annie and her husband were spotted. Just so we're clear, like he has been seen. They were together after this happened. Let's go like this.
And very personal new series. It's called Homecoming Today.
And Savannah, we're going to start with you. You took us back to your old stomping grounds.
Oh, yes, here we go. You know, I'm Arizona. I grew up there, went to college there. My mom still lives there. And honestly, a part of me has really never left. So thanks to our sponsor, Visit Tucson, I got a chance to go home to show you everything from the giants of the desert to the people who raised me and really why Tucson is unlike anywhere else in the world. There is no place like home, especially when home is as stunning a place as Tucson, Arizona, where the sunsets paint the sky every single night, and every cactus is an old friend. Prickly pear, saguaro. This is the jumping cholla, because if you walk past it and brush it, it jumps out at you. Or, in some cases, frenemy. Ow. Still sharp, but Tucson is more than its breathtaking landscape. It's a vibrant community and canvas. Hi, Joe. I'm Savannah Guthrie. Nice to meet you. This is beautiful.
Thanks.
Joe Pagic has transformed Tucson one wall at a time, turning bland buildings into colorful celebrations of desert life and culture.
Just gonna do a little arc like that.
Okay. I'm leaving my mark on Tucson.
That's a finished Gila monster tail.
And speaking of desert creatures, no trip to Tucson is complete without visiting the Arizona Sonora Desert Museum. A frequent elementary school field trip for me, it's home to hundreds of animals native to the Sonoran Desert. Like javelinas, those wild rascals that were always knocking over our trash cans growing up. And a brand new
Can you imagine those? Like just going outside and boom, right by your trash can. I'd be like,
baby.
This is
if that's what you grew up with, if that's just what you know.
our porcupine pine cone, who actually came to us from New York.
After weeks in quarantine, he's making his big debut with us. Honey, I'm bringing home a pet. But it was all just a warm-up for Klaus.
He's about as close to a flying puppy as you can get.
Okay.
So.
Klaus. Oh, God. Oh, my God. I can't believe girls gone wild. Tucson is also where I went to college. I can't believe it. I'm back. This is my alma mater, the University of Arizona. It's just as beautiful and sunny as it ever was. But I want to meet some real students of today.
She's a Pi-Fi.
I know just where to go. Knock, knock. Mr. President.
Hey,
Hi.
Savannah.
Yeah,
Great to see you. Just reading about you.
Oh my gosh. It is so good to be back in
Great
Tucson.
to see you. Welcome.
I'm a hugger. This is home.
That's fantastic.
Where-
We're so happy you're back.
Where are all the students?
You remember them all.
Yes.
Welcome home.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
I'm here, but where is everybody?
Welcome back home,
I think this is my sorority house. I think this is the Pi-Fi house. I gotta go.
Every case we've been covering, I swear everyone's a Pi-Fi.
Hello? Anybody home? Hello? Yes. Oh, hi. Hey, I'm Savannah Guthrie. Pi-Fi, pledge class 90.
1 second. You might want to back up a little bit.
Back in my day, we just did the secret handshake. Now, they have a viral TikTok dance. You guys just won Best Pi-Fi Chapter in the country.
Wow. Okay.
This is a snap. That's what we
Idaho goals.
used to do. What does it mean to you to be a Pi-Fi and be part of this organization?
I find myself becoming a better version of who I am every single day that I'm in Pi-Fi. We have the most amazing emerging leaders, and I'm just so proud of all of them.
Wow, it's so fun to be back here. It's been a long, long time.
Actually, we did find something of yours, and we have a little surprise for you.
Okay. I remember this. This used to hang on the wall.
Yeah, it still does.
Big hair, don't care. Okay, let's see.
There
Here
you
I
are.
am.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, there we am. That's my natural hair color. Guys, thank you so much for having me.
Big
had the
hair,
best
don't
time.
care.
Should we do one more cheer before I go?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's go. 3, 2, 1.
Bear down. Okay, so yeah, the reason I said Idaho goals is because this is the best chapter in the country. The Vandals, they are on probation. Like yeah. Goals.
But by far, my favorite part about Tucson is family. El Charro is the oldest family-owned Mexican restaurant in America and the perfect place to catch up with mine.
my mom Nancy, and sister Annie.
I come here every time I come home to Tucson. I have to come to El Charro. How long has El Charro been here?
103 years. Carlota Flores has
103 years.
run El Charro for over 50 years, taking over from her great aunt Monica, the woman who's said to have invented the chimichanga. She treated us to a tradition from back in Prohibition when women playing cards would hide their tequila in teacups.
Cheers. Cheers. I love being home. Don't drink the whole thing. Well, Mom, you guys came here in the 70s and you'd been moving all around. What made you want to stay in Tucson and plant roots?
It's so wonderful. Just the air, the quality of life is laid back and gentle. Yeah, I like to watch the javelina eat my plants.
Which one? So.
But the best thing about Tucson is coming home and
Yes.
seeing you guys. Should we raise a glass? Prickly pear margarita. Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Love you.
Love you.
Now they're having tequila. They got the prickly pear margarita. Dude, yes.
From the love of family to the familiar beauty of the scenery, I will always be a daughter of the deserts.
Daughter.
Oh, daughter.
Okay, so you would have been able to see that. You know, I'm just saying, like, I don't believe that Nancy was just taken because it looked like an opportunity. You know, I don't think that that was the case. I think this was obviously planned. So there's another one, though, where it breaks down. She does a sisterhood episode with, and it's after, it's with Annie. And that's the one I really wanted to show. I thought I had it all queued up and everything. And I'm like, what the is going on? Oh, so here, I don't know if I played this.
Stressful events in somebody's
Okay.
life, and we all feel pressure for it to be perfect.
Yeah,
Watch
and to
this.
tell everyone, oh, it was so great. It was the best day of my life.
Which is why I think people hate it, because
Well,
if your
I actually- yeah.
expectations are here, how can you ever live up to them?
It's true, and it can be stressful. I did actually love my wedding day.
Mhm.
We had a great day. How was your wedding?
It was good. This is your wedding day.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. They got married in her hometown.
I mean, like,
That's where you're supposed to.
Fun.
isn't that cute how Mike did that? That was like
Yes.
totally spontaneous. Look at all those cacti
Well,
behind.
you know why he did that? He was so happy that you were his.
Well, I was so happy to be his. And also, we dated for like 5.5 years. So, Lord
was the
knows, it took a
victory
long
song.
time. It was like, thank goodness, finally we did it.
I had a wonderful wedding day too.
I think for 5.5
We
You
were-
guys
years.
are so young.
We were young.
You know
Watch
what's
this.
weird? I don't know if people know this, but I wasn't invited to your wedding, but we didn't know
Which
each
is
other
good. I
then.
wasn't invited to your wedding either.
I know we did know each other, but we didn't know each other well. If I had known that you would have
Actually-
become one of my lifelong best friends,
Watch
then I
this.
would have invited you, but I didn't know that.
Actually, you said yesterday. I guess that was the point when we were still work friends.
No, come on, we just got past that.
Okay.
All right, but I was kind of at your wedding.
Let's
I
look. I think
covered
we
her
have
wedding.
footage.
Watch
Now
this.
to Crawford, Texas, where as we speak, the president's daughter, Jenna, is getting married. It's happening far from the cameras and the White House, a private affair at her father's ranch. And that's where we find NBC's Savannah Guthrie tonight, or at least as close as she can get. Savannah?
Look at that rundown. Look at the back. Look at this. Is this supposed to be like a joke? Because it is hilarious.
Good evening, Lester. Well, don't feel bad if you weren't invited. Only about 200 of the Bush's close friends and family are attending the wedding of Jenna Bush and her longtime boyfriend, Henry Hager. The ceremony is underway as we speak, a late start to avoid the Texas heat. The plans call for the ceremony followed by dinner and dancing under the stars. Details, though, are scarce. Not exactly classified, but close. Late word, Lester, that the president will dance the first dance with his daughter to Joe Cocker's You Are So Beautiful. It was the bride's choice. The entertainment tonight, a Nashville band, Super T and his dance band. And he says it's going to be a get down party. That's a direct quote.
It's going to be a get down party. What?
You can take it to the bank. All right, Savannah,
Wait.
thanks very much.
Wait, look at this run down barn. Okay. Like, what? Watch this.
You can take it to the bank.
I mean,
You can take it.
first of all, that's my natural hair color. Secret's out.
There's so much we have to say about this.
I know. Well, first of all, how cute were you and Henry? And you sound like you had a great party with T. What was it?
Super T. My
Super T
favorite
and
part
the
of the
Get
whole
Down
thing
Boogie.
is not exactly classified, but close.
Well, you know what? That was a real career starter for me. I just
This is a real career starter for me. You guys wait for it right here.
I was at NBC for like about 6 months, and they're like, "Do you want to cover Jenna Bush's wedding?" I'm like, "Sure."
You were like, "No, thank you."
It was
but
a
okay.
short trip to the White House after that.
You look so cute. And my other favorite part is you're like, a late start because we wanted to avoid the Texas heat. Is that true?
I don't know. Was it? Well, you were there. I wasn't.
No, I think we just wanted a later start.
Yeah, well, probably knowing you now, you wanted to have a late night on the dance floor.
And I sure did.
But also what's funny is that it was not outside. That's not your father's ranch
Oh my God, I love this part.
behind me. That's like fake hay bales.
You found like a barn and you were like, this will do.
Look at that shit. Look at that. Who picked this? Right behind me here is the location where the Bushes are going to be paying for this lovely wedding. Look at that rundown barn. Look at that.
We'll never know. I know. What is that?
It's collapsing,
It's
but
a
other than
shed.
that, it looks good.
You guys, you wonder what President Bush's ranch looks like?
Not
That's it.
Not that. Okay, well,
But it sure did seem like it, like wild shit.
I'm glad you were at my
I
wedding.
know.
Next, when I
She was like, I'm glad you're at my wedding. I was dying. I thought this is hilarious. I was like, oh my God. See, I love people that can laugh about themselves. That's just, so I had to share that with you guys. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but the intertwines of all of this case, you'd have to go back and look at everybody's connections, but somebody took Nancy, somebody did take her, and it's like, who took her? What'd you take her for? What was the motive? And I think we're gonna find out. I think we are gonna find out. I do. So here is an update. Here's clickbait.
Saw crisis hostage negotiator unit in New York City. And the reason I explain all of that in your titles, James, is that the FBI is saying they currently are operating a 24-hour command post, including crisis management experts, analytics support, and investigative teams. What exactly does that mean, and how will that help the case specifically?
Great question, Ainsley. And really what's going on right now is a fusion between state, local, and obviously federal officials. And you guys were talking about it just a minute ago. The FBI does have purview in kidnapping cases if it is easily known that it's an interstate connection. Until you can prove that, they're not. They're second seat unless the authorities on the ground decide to pull them in. Also, there's cases if there's a kid involved where the FBI might take the lead on this. In this instance, the Pima County Sheriff's Office, that's a department of about 1,500 people, 600 sworn officers, have the lead. How does this work? The FBI is a 500-pound gorilla. When it comes on scene, we set up a tactical operations center. That could be a brick and mortar building, or in most instances like this one, it would probably operate out of a mobile command post. Where does that come from? That would come from the Phoenix office. The Phoenix FBI office has 7 satellite offices. There's one in Tucson, Arizona, and they'll be pulling agents from there. What goes on inside? Well, the biggest thing is lead management. Why is that? Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of leads are coming in. Most of them amount to nothing, but you never want the public to think not to say something. You want them to send the lead in. But there's a triage that goes on there, and the bosses make those decisions. Lastly and finally, you'll have hostage rescue team members there. You'll have crisis negotiators and behavioral analysis specialists there. They'll all be working in concert with the state and local officials that'll be close by.
James, with the delay and the fact that the crime scene was released when it should not have been released because you had cooperating victims here, do you worry that there was contamination done?
Yeah. LJ, great question from a law enforcement perspective. And I'm surprised that we're this close for this shoot today because the scene was turned over, I believe, and many in my field believe, a little prematurely. And why was that? Well, they made a decision that they'd harvest all of the forensic evidence they could. And what happened in the beginning, and I don't blame law enforcement for this, it's tough. It started out as a missing persons case. You had an 84-year-old woman, somebody that had some physical maladies, and the concern was that, hey, maybe she had stumbled somewhere, gotten hurt or whatever, and they treated it as a missing persons case. That brought so many people into the location right over my shoulder here, and they trampled over everything. The driveway you see here, you should have been able to pull, if somebody had driven in there, you should have been able to pull tire prints from there, but the gravel gets disturbed. There were numbers of vehicles that were in there. People touched things without gloves on, things like that, and that would have made it a contaminated crime scene and make it not impossible, Lawrence, but make it so much more of a difficult situation for law enforcement.
What does it tell you that Savannah Guthrie went from reading things specifically with the words being very carefully written, she even checked the copy, and being left with her siblings, and now by herself, just saying, I need anything, even if you're not around, don't live around here, anything you've seen. Read between the lines. Does that show a degree of frustration, and does it reveal what we all think? They got absolutely no one. For her to do that yesterday shows that there's nothing, there's no hope except for the general public.
Well, Brian, let's be clear. The FBI and the Pima County Sheriff's
No,
Office
this is
have
what they
both stated-
do when they don't fill you in, when they're not going to tell you things. Just like think about the Gonsalveses during that case. Okay. They cut off telling people stuff, right? So yeah.
They do not even have a person of interest. Remember, person of interest isn't necessarily a suspect. It could be somebody who's a material witness that might just have information. They don't even have that. Brian, what you're describing is basically the alchemy, or how an investigation transforms as you get more evidence or you come upon a dearth of evidence, which is what we're dealing with right now. I detected a big distinction. If you notice, Savannah wasn't working off of notes. This was a heartfelt appeal to the public, to us, to people in other states that, please, if you hear anything, see anything, please reach out to law enforcement. Very different than the pointed message to the kidnappers or the abductors that was crafted by law enforcement. That's what we do. We advise best practices. Say this, don't say this. Humanize your mother. Make the appeal this way. Don't be threatening. All these kind of things are what the crisis negotiation unit would have been coaching Savannah on in the first two instances. The last one, that was all Savannah.
James, is it just me, or the public wants more information? Do you think that there needs to be a press conference, even if they don't have new information, just to tell us who was the last person to see her? Because at first it was reported that it was the Nancy's son-in-law that dropped her off and watched her walk in the garage, watched the door close. But then we heard the police might have walked that back. We just all are invested in this. It's something that everyone
When did the police ever walk that back? What is she talking about?
across our country is talking about. We've all been praying for Nancy. I just feel like we need some more information now that we're 10 days in.
Ainsley, you know what? That is a fair question, but this is what I would say about that. I believe in these instances, having worked crisis incidents for almost 25 years, I believe less is more. You put out what needs to be put out, and you don't want to step on the message. You don't want conflicting
1000%.
information. And if you notice, when this whole thing started on February 1st, just 9 days ago, 10 days ago, that was the problem. Too much information was being put out, and that's not always good. And I'll wrap it up with this, Ainsley. This is not a typical civilian kidnapping case. If this was me, you wouldn't see this kind of coverage, and there's a reason for that. With celebrity comes some benefit, and in this instance, the president of the United States has said you are going to have the full resources of federal law enforcement. But the drawback to that is you see the family's pain, and the family has to live this every single day. So it is a benefit. You hope the word gets out there, and if this 84-year-old grandmother can be found.
Is this guy an idiot? This guy's an absolute idiot. The reason that there's all of this attention is because of the ransom note. Okay, sorry, but take that out of the equation, and there's nowhere near this shit.
We hope that crowdsourcing, what we're doing right now, leads to her recovery.
But James, now that you're on the ground and with all your experience, what immediately, I would say, stands out to you on the ground that you weren't able to see when you were analyzing this from New York?
Brian, I've been on almost every continent in the world. I've been across most of the 50 states chasing bad guys. And during that period of time, there is nothing you can trade for boots on the ground. I was stunned, literally stunned this morning as we arrived on location here to see what this looked like. I've seen the drone coverage of it. I've seen our live shots the past couple of days. Nothing can prepare you from actually having boots on the ground. It is so serene here. I have never been in a place like this, and I've been all over the world. What I was immediately struck by was this, the darkness. On February 1st, there was a full moon. I think we're in like the half moon phase right now. Even with a full moon, the light pollution out here is negligible. There's none. It is so dark. And the type of cacti, the flora and fauna that are native here in Arizona, for somebody to be able to sneak up in the dark, not to be seen, or to bring a car in with no lights on the road right behind my shoulder. Brian, LJ, this really took my breath away about how difficult this is going to be. And it made a lot more sense to me why somebody that night might not have seen anything.
James, will it be solved?
I always say this, Ainsley, and I've been right almost every single time. The good guys always win here. There are no perfect crimes. I mean, this isn't the era of Jack the Ripper where you don't have any of the forensics and any of the police sciences. This case will be solved, and we're all praying for a wonderful reunion with Savannah and her mother and her family.
Yes, it will be solved. You hear that? It will be solved. I agree. It's going to be solved, but this is a recovery. So, oops. This was okay, the title of that little clip. Former FBI agent stunned by Guthrie crime scene in person. I mean, ridiculous. Stunned. What are you talking? Like, just ridiculous. Sounds good. Stunned. 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 Interesting. Stunned. We are stunned over here.
The center of our family, sometimes for good and sometimes not for good.
That's how Savannah Guthrie once described her father, and it's a glimpse into just how deeply family shapes the longtime Today Show anchor. Behind the familiar morning TV smile is a close-knit family whose story has recently been thrust into the spotlight amid troubling news about their missing mother. Savannah Guthrie is the youngest of 3 children, born to Nancy and Charles Guthrie. In February 2026, her family faced an unimaginable moment when Nancy Guthrie became the subject of a missing persons investigation. Savannah released a statement at the time, thanking the public for their prayers and support, and saying the family's focus remained on the safe return of their dear mom. Nancy Guthrie has long been a central figure in Savannah's life. Born while the family was living in Melbourne, Australia, Savannah later moved with her parents to Tucson, Arizona. Nancy was a stay-at-home mom to Savannah and her older siblings, Annie and Cameron. Over the years, Savannah has publicly praised her mother as a role model, calling her selfless, curious, and a consistent doer of the right thing and the hard thing. Friends and family said Nancy was sharp and of sound mind before she disappeared, making the situation all more concerning. Savannah's father, Charles Guthrie, died suddenly of a heart attack when Savannah was still in high school. A mining engineer by trade, Charles's death left a lasting impact. Savannah has spoken openly.
People say, Atlanta, why do I think there's going to be a recovery versus I just sadly don't think that she's with us. And I think that I don't think that this was ever a ransom situation. I think this was a I think the people that took her faked this whole ransom thing. I don't think that's the motive. That's my thoughts. I also know that we have a shit ton of technology, and it may be dark right around her house, but it's not dark on those other streets. Let's go take a look and see what JLR is doing over there at the Guthries. JLR investigates. Is he even live right now? He might not even be. Oh, is he? Sheriff's back. Nancy Guthrie home. All right, breaking. Here we go. We have supposedly they're going to release a video of the suspect. Let's see.
And went to Annie.
Then it went to Tommaso, and now back to family. And he won't say anything. He won't. It's just, and those are just.
No, we're just sitting. All right, come here. They're like.
Some wild stuff, man.
Field offices around the country, especially those with special expertise, those who know how to review digital data, and this kind of photo would fit in that category. The cell phone data that can be so by number that allows the app. What this means.
We're about to get new camera footage.
This is one step. It is something that can add value, and perhaps it will produce more information. And of course,
Breaking news. They're about to reveal an image of the suspect, folks. According to NBC News, a suspect's photo is about to be released. Ooh.
there's a 24-hour command center here in Tucson where FBI.
We might have a big lead coming. Big lead coming.
Why is there all this activity? It's not on my side.
Dude, fucking cracks me up, man.
The house. Dude, we're gonna get an image, folks. We're gonna get an image. They're about to release an image.
Yeah, this is why they're here. Oh, yeah, I know, but it seems like there's more activity today than at any other time that there is. Walk my dog.
Media is reporting.
So, is there a reason for that? Not that we know of, not yet. We're just like, everybody's just been out here. Yeah, and it's just gotten weird. There might be a break in the case. Yeah.
Might be a new image coming out here, folks. Image, some sort of image about to come out. Let's go back to NBC News. They were saying that, but here's the thing about NBC News. They got the scoop on that.
We are expecting some news from
Tapper's reporting it now. Any minute. New footage coming out. Of course, we'll share. And this is going to be a big lead, man. This could be the turning of the case. It really could. So
good afternoon, media partners. Today,
we're using other media.
Today, we do not have any additional information to release publicly this afternoon. The investigation into Nancy Guthrie's disappearance remains active and ongoing. We understand the significant public interest in this case. However, investigators need time and space to do their work. If and when relevant information becomes available, it will be shared. Now, updated.
Reports, what other people saying, and sharing collectively what is happening with this case. Now, the major break of this case is happening soon. We'll see. Can't wait to see this person. Then, I mean, if it doesn't look like Tommaso, we can rule Tommaso out, right? And Tommaso won't be the guy, right? We'll see. We'll see. But we'll see. I think what they're doing is they want people to say, hey, that looks like so-and-so, so-and-so. But again, it could be somebody close to the family, someone, a friend, associate with one of the family members, somebody close in that inner circle. Whole world is watching.
NBC News says that there is new security cam image shows subject in disappearance of Nancy Guthrie.
You think so?
Remember when the FBI agent was on top of the roof?
Yep.
That was the very last camera. My question is, if they scanned the whole entire area of the house, how did they miss that camera? That's my question.
If they seriously missed the camera on the roof, like they're talking about right now, how did the family not tell them where all these cameras were? The family didn't know. The family just thought they got it all. Can you imagine that if that's the case? Oh my God. If that's the case, I will go ape shit.
Can't wait to see this image.
You're very
folks.
welcome.
We're all on the edge of our seats waiting.
Again, breaking news.
Yeah, that's interesting. Tapper arrives here at the scene right when they say there's a new image about to get released. Big break in the case coming any minute.
Do me a favor, thumbs it up, thumbs it down. You have an opinion, make yourself known. And they're calling it a subject image. Remember, subject, not suspect. A subject is just somebody that
1 p.m.
like.
So Fox News is now reporting
You're
a key
the
photo coming out.
purpose of this portion of that. Of
Major media outlets are now reporting that an image is going to be coming.
So, like, if somebody was to be if I'm going to go ask somebody to give me, like, hey, can I swab you for DNA? Like, you're the subject of my report for that. Like, I'm going to get this person. So they're the subject and I swab for DNA for them. Like, that's how it'd be listed as, a subject. So they have a subject.
Out here short. Big break in the case. We shall see. New image. So what does this say?
A federal source has informed to Fox News Digital that authorities are expected to share a surveillance image of a potential subject tied to the investigation into the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie.
We shall see.
All these people are starting to go.
Yeah, all the media outlets are starting to come out and get ready for their reports.
Again, subject image to be released in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. Breaking news. Breaking news.
New image of suspect. We'll see who the person is. We're waiting, folks.
Again, this is breaking news, so here we go.
Image of suspect.
If this has anything to do with those cameras that were found on the roof, I'm seriously going to lose it. And they were not found prior to. That is absolutely unbelievable.
We're on standby for this new image.
Let me see. I got some images.
What?
Gifted. Dina, 10 gifted memberships. Woo! If you got a green name now, you got it from either our girl Dina, K. Schmidt, Sleuther. Sleuther, what's
So
up?
people are coming into the chat.
I just missed
We're
that.
waiting for this image. As soon as we get it, we will
Bring it
share.
down, wake up,
We'll go
folks.
from
We got a breaking
here.
news.
This is huge. This is huge. We will
let's
have
fucking do
a
this.
potential suspect here. When they say that, it's pretty much the person they feel like did this, and we'll see.
Subject image from surveillance.
Big break. No, you're good.
Don't know where the surveillance is from though. It just
NBC is now saying that the disappearance of suspect could be wearing a mask and carrying a backpack or tools.
What?
Suspect in Nancy Guthrie's disappearance was possibly wearing a mask and carrying a backpack or tools. NBC is reporting that soon the FBI will be releasing a photograph from Nancy Guthrie's house of a man with what appears to be tools.
Because they said that there was no force majeure.
How's NBC News getting this? You know why? Because Savannah's telling NBC News. She works for NBC News. Savannah's giving them the scoop. I posted on my thing. I said if anything breaks on this case, the very first people that's going to report on it is NBC News. You know.
of a person that they're calling a subject. That doesn't mean that they're a suspect. That doesn't mean that there's an arrest warrant. They just want to find out who this person is. This person might be masked in some way. This person might have a backpack or tools with them. We're not quite sure. We haven't seen the image ourselves. We do anticipate that the FBI will release this information this afternoon, perhaps quite imminently, this photograph. That's the gist of basically what we do expect. We don't know if we'll get any other information as well. Obviously, as we've been talking here over the past 10 days, this has been an investigation that has developed some evidence, but has been hurting for some clues as far as exactly who we might be looking for. And it appears that at the moment that might be changing, Kate.
Let me bring in our Chief Justice contributor, Jonathan Dienst. He's also WNBC New York's chief investigative reporter. Jonathan, you had some of this reporting earlier as well. I know it probably matches what Tom is telling us. Do we think we will at some point see this image?
Yes, it's our understanding that sometime, perhaps as early as 12:15 or sometime afterwards, that image will be released to the public.
12:30.
Law enforcement was hoping that perhaps someone internally or with the family might recognize who this person might be, but we're told it's not a very good image. The person is masked, is wearing a backpack, and is not readily identifiable. So they will be putting this out, we are told, seeking the public's help. And it could be the first possible break that they now have a lead, someone to go on to search as a subject in this investigation.
To either of you, we have known that there were cameras at Nancy Guthrie's home for 10 days now. It's a bit surprising that it took this long to recover an image. Do we know why?
Well, it is and it isn't, because what we know is that the Ring camera, according to the sheriff's office and the FBI, when they put out a timeline last Thursday, they released that and say one of the first things that they noticed is that the Ring camera had been snatched off the front door. Then there were other cameras, and those other cameras were active. One of them actually alerted, apparently, that there was a person outside the home, but they were really struggling. We're looking at some video now from Friday evening when they were on the rooftop, and actually
wait, that's new information. It alerted that somebody was outside the home. Like the motion was detected outside the home.
One point here, the FBI appears to take what may be a camera, you're looking at it now there in the center of the screen, off of the roof. They had tried every available way, Kate, to be able to try and find on some server somewhere, some backup somewhere, some image of this, because it was not readily available on local storage at the home. So the question now is, were they able, through some profound technical means, find this image on some sort of cloud or server somewhere? Were they able to recover an actual physical camera that somehow had the image cached or saved on it?
Right.
Those are some open questions. We don't know the answer.
Jonathan, just to clarify, you said a moment.
Cached or saved on it?
Right.
Those are some open questions. We don't know the answer.
Jonathan, just to clarify, you said a moment ago that we may see this image as soon as, did you say 12:15 Eastern time?
That is what we are hearing, that sometime in the next, I would say within the hour.
Within this
we would
hour.
expect to hear an announcement as to this image. And again, it's not anyone or anything that anyone recognizes. It's not a shape of a person or a size of anyone that they say, that could be him. They just don't know who it might be,
So
which is why they're going to put it out. Again, the person is masked and apparently has some sort of bag or backpack.
And to be clear, Kate, we would not be reporting this, and certainly the FBI would not be releasing this if they haven't been in touch with the Guthrie family. It's our understanding that process has happened. So the family has been, certainly, it sounds like that they're aware of where this investigation is, and obviously that's a key part of this as well. Sensitivities to them as much as they've been through, of course.
Absolutely. Tom, let me turn to our Chief Justice and National Affairs correspondent, Kelly O'Donnell, who is in Tucson. She's in Nancy Guthrie's neighborhood. Kelly, you've been hearing us talk about this. This could be coming out any time now. What are you hearing there on the ground? And what are you seeing in terms of any law enforcement activity today?
Well, good to be with you, Kate. And we've been working alongside the colleagues there at the desk, trying to get to our sources about all of this. And we do expect that development will be made public. What is so important about it is that in these many days of trying to find actionable information, this is an opportunity for the public to now be engaged. What we have seen here is a sort of shift on the issue related to ransom notes and a lot of the attention that was drawn there. And now we expect more searches here in the area around Nancy Guthrie's home and family homes and in the area. That's expected in the coming days. And authorities have been clear that they want to do more of that. Any kind of imagery is the product of the kind of painstaking work we've talked about a number of times. When there has been this void of new information, work is still being done, and it produces this kind of an update that, again, is about a subject in the investigation, someone that authorities would like to better identify, be able to talk to. And this is that point where engaging the public, we saw from our friend and colleague Savannah, her message, the Fourth Family video, where she was talking directly to the public about wanting people to provide information or tips. Someone somewhere may know something, and that could be the kind of information that law enforcement can then take action on. We've also seen the collaboration between the FBI and a company called Clear Channel, which is in the advertising business. And across the Southwest region, from California to New Mexico to Arizona to Texas, there are billboards being shown in public to encourage the public to try to come forward with information. So often in these vexing cases, it is ultimately a tip, someone who overheard something, knew something. Here in Tucson, where FBI federal personnel, agents and staff and experts of various job descriptions are at work around the clock going through tips and digital information and all the investigative materials to try to produce the kind of lead that we're talking about right now. Kate?
Kelly, appreciate all of that. Thank you so much. I'm going to turn back to Jonathan and Tom. Folks, we were talking, and we may see that image with camera that was on the property of Nancy Guthrie's house.
That's exactly right. There were a number of cameras that were at the Guthrie house. There was a Ring camera that was snatched off the front door, and that was approximately 1:48 a.m. Saturday into the Sunday. So that's Sunday morning when she was reported missing. That kind of starts the chain of events here of when authorities first, from an evidentiary standpoint, say, whoa, there's a problem here. So that happens approximately 1:40.
See how it says, though, it disconnects. Just because you take it off the where it's like sitting, that doesn't disconnect it. Like, that's an app.
And then around 2:10, somebody is seen, and there's some sort of a notification that we're looking at the timeline here now, 2:12 specifically. A camera depicts somebody outside of the house. We don't know what camera that was. It almost seems as if, Kate, that there was some.
Then how do you know they're outside the house? That tells me that there are no inside cameras.
Sort of a notification. If you have one of these cameras, you'll get an alert on your phone that says somebody's outside of your home and that there's somebody that's there, but they weren't able to locate the video associated with it because of the way that the system was configured and how it was set up. It just didn't seem like it was keeping a record. Google put its top engineers on it. They were working hard on the case. All the tech companies were reaching out to the sheriff's office saying, what can we do? We'll do whatever we can do to get this done. The FBI also has a number of assets that were there. A lot of their agents, a lot of their teams that are focused on this type of thing to see if they could get any video from any of these cameras. You're looking there at a
right there. Hold on.
FBI special agent part. They could get any video from do whatever we can do to get this done. The FBI also has a number of assets that were there. A lot of their agents, a lot of do to get this done. The FBI also has a number of assets that were there. A lot of their agents, a lot of their teams that are focused on this type of thing to see if they could get any video from any of these cameras. You're looking there at a FBI special agent, part of the evidence response team. This was taken Friday from an NBC drone above Nancy Guthrie.
Okay, take a look. There's that solar on top of that camera.
House. That's her house there. And they appear to remove something which could be a camera, but we are told, to what Jonathan was speaking about before, there is some sort of an image.
Yeah, and it strikes me that this is camera ask something out, and now look at that, and if they have any information to tell authorities.
We saw in the video yesterday, Savannah Guthrie calling this her family's ongoing nightmare. One important point to pick up what Tom was pointing out, that image. They do believe that image was taken from the time, in that timeline of when that doorbell cam vanished. So 1:20, 2 a.m. So that image is from that. Again, it is grainy. It is a masked individual, we're told, with a backpack. And they're hoping by putting this image out there, by announcing this, by clearing this information and putting it out there, that someone, as you said, somewhere in this country will recognize him, provide a tip. Perhaps he's wearing an item of clothing that someone will recognize, something that will provide a new lead, a new break. But this is a significant development, a step forward in this investigation that's been going on for nearly 10 days now.
And, you know, as Jonathan and I know from a case you and I covered so well in the Boston Marathon bombing investigation, it was a hat. Johar Tsarnaev, who was eventually sentenced to death for his involvement in actually placing one of the bombs, he was wearing a white hat. He was known in the FBI system as White Hat. Who is this guy? And so what we saw there was that there was a backpack, a couple of backpacks, because they were carrying the bombs, had to be substantial in size. That was critical to the investigation. So maybe here somebody points out it's this type of backpack. Or if it's a rare backpack, it was only sold in this area at this certain time. That can help investigators. Of course, they're doing reverse image searches and all the tools the FBI.
Agent in charge in Birmingham, and that tied into the Atlanta Olympic bomb case. And we had a picture of the bomber with a backpack, and it was just a blob, and it went on for years. We couldn't identify him. We just saw it in the 2 bombs at the Capitol. Image of the bomber video was released, and it took years to identify him. But here's what they want to do. If they can get that image out and say to the public writ large, look, do you know somebody who looks like this? And do you know where they were last Saturday night, Sunday morning at 2 a.m.? Were they gone under any unusual circumstances? You need to call us. And if in addition you've ever heard them utter anything about the Guthrie family, pre the event, the crime, or post the event, before or after, have they discussed it? Call us. Call us if you have somebody that looks like this. Just that. Call us if you have somebody that looks like this that you don't know where they were last Saturday night and you found that odd. And call us if somebody looks like this ever mentioned the Guthrie family. Because there may be just some small identifiers like Tom described. They help break this to interview the timeline at 2:30 in the morning when she disappeared, even more. And that's how you break it.
You're going to sit here and tell me that one person did this?
Jim, thank you so much. Law enforcement potential subject in the ongoing disappearance investigation of Nancy Guthrie, the mother of our colleague Savannah Guthrie. Let's go to Liz Kreutz. NBC News' Liz Kreutz. She is outside the Pima County Sheriff's Office. Liz, we know from Jonathan and Tom's reporting that potentially they're going to release this image within this hour. Do you have any more specific information about what local law enforcement is doing?
At this time, Kate, it really feels like the FBI is taking over a large part of this investigation, with the sheriff's deputies here really referring and deferring to the FBI. What I can tell you is that one of the most frustrating parts over the past 10 days has been the lack of images and video coming out. Part of that is simply a product of a series of unfortunate events. The fact that the landscaping of the neighborhood made it really hard for many of the neighborhood homes to catch any kind of footage of the street by Nancy Guthrie's home because of the fact that it was so dark in that neighborhood, no streetlights, and the fact that a lot of the vegetation is so tall, blocking.
Okay, so this timeline, 1:48, disconnecting the Ring camera, but the 2:12 a.m. is the outside the house camera, because I'm guessing the way that he was speaking is like how they said that didn't tell us what camera, but there was an alert, of detection, like detecting somebody. And the only reason I'm thinking that he's saying outside is because there are no inside cameras. So then you're saying like that it was outside that detected. So that's interesting to me. 1:48 a.m. is disconnecting the doorbell cam, and I just think that that's from the app, but but if there's no cameras in the front of the house, how'd the blood get in the front of the house if they didn't leave it out that way?
Many of the homes. And then another issue was just the fact that they've had trouble finding any kind of footage from Nancy's Nest cameras because, according to the sheriff's department, she didn't have a subscription. Google has us.
You guys, this isn't a live feed. Okay. This isn't a live feed. This is just a recorded 21 minutes. So people are saying, Lana, go further up. This isn't a live feed. It's not like that at all.
Said something to someone else, or perhaps if they were going to buy equipment, rope, different things to pursue something like this or rent a vehicle, this might now trigger other folks that maybe that this person had contact with to say, hey, wait a minute, there's someone that looks somewhat like this person who came and rented a vehicle for me. Or, hey, there's some—
right here, this picture, like this stuff right here, this seems like it's the other house. We already did. We are. So it was live. It's not live anymore.
Someone who came into my hardware store. So that's other stuff that we can potentially start to get information on. I mean, it seems as though there's a lot of people who have very close secure the crime scene. So I think that that's going to be a bit of an issue for them. And again, the longer this goes out, it does become harder to solve. And I think it's not even about solving this. At the end, it is about finding Savannah's mother and making sure she is safe. That's really the critical point of this investigation.
Okay, see that right to the right? What's that top area right there? Is that a street? Right? To get to like that top street right there?
Investigation.
Like back up a little bit, damn it.
Evie, thank you so much for that perspective.
See that area right there to the right?
I think it's not making sure.
Right there.
Evie, thank
really the critical point of this
What's that?
Investigation.
Evie, thank you so much for that perspective. Appreciate it. Tom, I just want to check in on that point. I mean, just the timeline of what's happened here. In the initial hours, they did think it was a disappearance.
That's like another street. That's what that is. Okay.
Activity right here. I think it's like he's shift change or something. Yeah, he's shift change.
Oh, yeah, there's
He handed him a bag.
Play-by-play by JLR. He took a shit. Well, that guy just dust cropped it.
Information. Another sheriff arrived.
Yeah, pretty far.
I got two sheriffs here, dude. There's so much activity right here. It's buzzing. It's literally buzzing.
Buzzing.
I think it's like he's shift change or something. Yeah, he's shift change.
Oh, yeah, there's
He handed him a bag.
Well, that camera that they found was literally like just beeline right for that back door. Wherever they're shaking out that green, that is not at this house. I believe that would have been at Annie's house because that's not part of anything that I found at Nancy's house, where they kept replaying that woman that's doing whatever with the green shaking out of, I don't even fucking know what it is. All right, let's talk about 41 minutes, guys. I believe it's even more than 41 minutes. Just because the ring bell camera gets disconnected, okay? That doesn't, I don't necessarily say like, oh, that's the start of it. In fact, I don't. I think that that's going to be sometime after that you're disconnecting the ring camera. Why would you need to disconnect the ring camera if you're coming into the back? You wouldn't, unless there's a ring camera at both the back slider and the front door. Why would I even take a chance of being in the pitch black, going from the backyard up to the front of the house just to take off the camera, to, slide it up and out? Like, if I'm not, that tells you that you're planning on using that area. You're planning on going out the front door, but you plan to come in from the back because, again, why would the camera in the back have anything on it if you're not back out there? There's just fucking no way this is one person.
Yeah, this is going to be huge, but so it might be 1 p.m. possibly 1 p.m. So
if she's alive and you have to walk her a little bit of ways, okay, you have to put like duct tape over her mouth. I mean, she's just going to scream while she's outside walking wherever you're trying to walk her, right? She's going to be like screaming, right?
you know, it is 10:47.
Unless there's a gun to your head, like don't say, like, you know.
Hours, so
I would
wait and
scream
see.
anyways. What are you gonna do? You fucking shoot me,
It's either going to
motherfucker.
be released,
Do not go to a second location.
you know, just released.
Scream.
or
Don't
it's
listen to
going
anybody when they have a gun to you. Who gives a fuck? What
They're going to have like a press
are they gonna do?
conference.
Shoot you right there? Think about it.
Informing the public of what's going on with the
Boy.
release of the photo.
Hey, be quiet. I'm gonna shoot you, motherfucker. Shoot me. You have a gun on me. I'm not going anywhere. Fuck you. That's what you're supposed to do. By the way. And maybe she wasn't stopping to scream, and that's why they had to hit her to you know, kind of like knock her out, because they knew that they weren't going to shoot her. What are we supposed to do? Like, well, you're never supposed to go to another location. And they're not going to shoot you. Or look at it this way, guys. They're going to shoot you, right? But they don't plan on shooting you when they are taking you right there. So, fuck with them right then. They won't. That's not part of their plan. Yes, what's up, girl? We got breaking news. We got this picture. Hopefully, we're about to pop it. They better put a timestamp with it.
And then the hunt will be on for the suspect. The hunt will be on for the suspect, whoever that may be. Jake Tapper said they're getting ready to go.
You would have tools to get into the house.
Got the image. Got the image. Got the image. Hold on, folks. Got
Here
the
we
image.
go.
We got the image coming. Hold on. They all got the media has the image. Where is it? Got it. Got it. Got it. I
If you
got
just
it, folks.
put it up
Here we go. I got it.
He'll put it up.
Here we go. I'm gonna put this down. Watch your foot a minute.
Yes, correct. Oh, what is he doing? God damn it, JLR. What the fuck are you doing? God damn it. Here we go. I gotta do it myself, JLR. All right. Oh,
Sorry, folks.
wait, he might have it.
What in the heck is that?
Holy
What in the heck
shit.
is he holding?
Front door. Oh, man. How did they get that image? Damn.
What do you?
Oh my God. No bushy eyebrows.
What do you think?
Oh man. Oh, that's a good clear. What are they talking about? It's not a clear image. This is a pretty clear fucking image, don't you think? Okay, what about how did they obtain this if there is no subscription? They should be able to tell how tall he is. Well, this just kind of this doesn't make sense. Where's the Ring camera alert? There's got to be a Ring camera alert before the disconnect. This is an image. This is alerting. Unless she didn't have. No, it'd still be in your feed. Jeez.
Dude, that's creepy.
I think they've had this for a minute. I think they've had this image for a motherfucking minute. I said it back then. I was like, this is like, even what do you mean you don't need a subscription if you have your Ring? What do you, it's still going to hold it for 24 hours at least. Like, it doesn't rewrite over it until 24 hours.
There's other images.
Oh my God, what the fuck?
Who is that?
He's got a fat ass face. He's got a big old fat ass face. That's a really round face.
Got gloves on.
Wait, what the fuck's this?
Got glasses.
Nest. What the fuck is this?
Dude, this is crazy.
Wait, what's that right there? That's a different person. That's a different mask. Look at that. Fuck yeah, it's a different mask. It's a different person. That person right there is a different person. Person one. How can your head go square like that? The fuck? Oh, wow. This is absolutely fucking terrifying. Is it two people or is it one person? I don't know. It looks like it's that one. That's not the picture. This is the one, right? I want to know what that photo is. What's that? What's that photo right there? What the hell is that? Like, not their face. What is what is that material? Okay, so look at that. That's when they're going to like undo the camera, it gets a close up. Like, that's it getting a close up because you're getting the what a moron. This is disgusting. See that? See that material? What is that? That is so different than that's the jacket. That's the jacket. Looks completely different material, but I don't fucking know. Oh wait. Yeah, it looks like somebody came from the side and they're because you see that's somebody opening the door. Do you see the difference of the look at oh my god. But look on the left side of that. Is that an arm? That's a reflection. It looks like does she have when you go up to the door? Is there a glass? Is it the glass part before you get to the door? That's a glare for JLR. I don't think it is. I think that's her opening up the fucking door. See. Let's see. See how he's standing off to the side? I want to know what that is. That's interesting. All right, I'm gonna go grab these other photos for us. This person just walked right up. Where's the further away images though? Like when your Ring camera usually catches you. Thank you, Murky. Appreciate it. Ugh, this is awful. This is horrible. This is the release from the over the last 8 days, the FBI and the Pima County Sheriff's Department have been working closely with our private sector partners to continue to recover any images or video footage from Nancy Guthrie's home that may have been lost, corrupted, or inaccessible due to a variety of factors, including the removal of recording devices. They removed stuff from the home. The video was recovered from, oh wow, residual data located in back-end systems. Fuck yeah, you guys, they have the best people on this. They don't have people that just like, oh, we can't, oh, nothing came back on that search warrant. There's just nothing, or here you got the material and then you have to like go through it. They have the best forensic people on this case. Working with our partners, as of this morning, law enforcement has uncovered these previously inaccessible new images showing an armed individual appearing to have tampered with the camera at Nancy Guthrie's front door the morning of her disappearance. The morning. Okay, let's take a look. Oh, man, this is awful. Okay, let's get these other images. I'm going to pull up these other images. It's the oh wow. You went with the gloves like that. And that's why it's like that. And in the back of the, are those lights on behind? Is that a car? See that? Look at that eye shape. They have dark colored eyes. Their eyes are definitely dark. Let's see. Hmm. There you go. That's a decent look at the lips. They got to have a sketch artist. Come on, man. Look at those lips. Look at those lips. Look at those lips. Look at the way he wears his pants. Is that a cuff? God, he's got them like. There's some. Oh, you know what? Hmm. You have to check that angle out to see if that's from the house. Mhm. Okay. We got some more. Yeah. This is somebody with dark features. Let me take another look with this. Hold on one second. How many pictures did they end up putting out? I wonder if it's in any type of order. Jonathan Lee Richards needs to take a picture of. Yeah, right there. They definitely have dark features. This person has dark hair. Wow. I don't think that looks like a female at all. Those are those frickin' those gloves are like pro-esque gloves. Like you didn't just get that at you know, give me those shitty ass no, this is damn. I don't let's see. I'm curious what he has in his hand. Let's see an angle of his gloves. It like seems like it's leafy or some shit. Like it's like a plant. Like, what the fuck? But then I'm like, that can't. I don't know. You know what? What's the angle of this? Yeah, that's the ring. It's not a ring, it's a Nest camera. Nest. Ugh. Right there. I think these are all the same person. I'm just kind of shocked that there's not a photo. There's got to be more of like you being further away. Like when does the Ring camera start recording? Wait a second. Yeah. Damn. Fuck. This is crazy. I think it should have picked him up further away. I'm curious because the Ring's going to keep on going until you get like look at that angle. That's still the Nest. You know, did they have cameras up into the corners as well? Not just the Ring right there. Interesting. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is horrifying for a family member to see this shit. There's a video now released. All right, let's check out the video. Fuck, here we go. Let's get the camera. Damn. I'm pulling it up. They released four photos and one video. So here, this is JLR trying to play the camera. If he's, let me make it bigger. Let me make it bigger.
Is this just a random, pick this house?
And then I'm gonna pull up the video that I have.
Like this down. We got new image. We got video.
I'm pulling up the other one, but here you guys go for right now.
Trying to block the camera. Backpack.
See, he does. He goes and grabs. What does he go to grab there?
Look at his gloves, like some sort of.
But it's weird because
So weird.
One has gloves on, the other one has like boxing gloves on. I wonder if there's two people.
See, he.
This is crazy, folks.
Okay. Oh boy, here we go. No, I think he went to go get, like I said, like plant, like he ripped out like weeds or something. He ripped out to put it over to put it over the camera at first. He put something over the camera. And so JLR just had pizza delivered to him, and the pizza guy just walked right up to Nancy's door and knocked with no What? That did not happen. Trying to pull up the video now.
Confirmed. So obviously this was done.
Meant in the sense that they now have a clue as to what went on in those early morning hours, in the moments leading up to the disappearance.
And I can't tell you how critical the backpack thing can be because, you know, there's a lot of people that could. We don't have to release this image.
Right.
This was a big challenge with the Boston Marathon bombing. That's number one. This moment would have kept them to
turn them.
I think that
helpful, expected, has continued behind the scenes with the on forth, a bit of the movement in trying to disengage the camera and so forth. This is critical because it's also a demonstration of the ongoing work that has happened today. So when we were first given guidance to be monitoring for this, we knew there were images. That work has continued behind the scenes with the experts who are deploying this kind of skill level to first get out the first image, and the work goes on to provide these videos.
Aren't they
This will
continuing
be
to
critical.
video?
It appears they're from the same.
There's more video. He puts it over the. He goes to grab the. He rips out grass, and he wants to put grass over. And I don't know why they're not showing the rest of that because there's more of it. Okay. I have the actual video now. Hold on, guys. I'm pulling up the actual video that's not on replay. There's two videos. Hmm. This is from straight from the Cash Patel posted this. And then this is the second video. So this one's 14 seconds. So he goes and he takes the grass out. Now, hang tight. Let's go with damn. All right, here's the video. This is 54 minutes or 54 seconds. What the heck? Oh, it's on replay. Hmm. Wow. Jeez. He's got like reflectors on his backpack. He has reflectors on his jacket. I think he might have, or whoever this person is, has reflectors around their mouth. So let's see. I'm going to pull up another video I have too. Interesting. You got to use something there because you can't use something of your own. But I thought that they were just disarming this, like disconnecting it, like taking it apart, like take it off. Wow. I don't believe anything that they've been reporting. Absolutely not. These just emerged. These just emerged. These just fucking emerged. We just got these. They just emerged. Wouldn't it be the first thing that you did was go rip them off? Like, I don't understand if that's what they did. It looks like that's not what they did. Wow. Yeah, he just pulled out like grass, weeds, just from the flower bed. And I don't understand. Like, I mean, did they leave these cameras? I mean, what the fuck are they doing? Is this all like, hey, pay attention over here, and we have somebody that's coming to the back? Well, I will say this: you don't want to use something that you have of your own, because then it could, if you're gonna leave the Nest camera there and leave the Ring camera there, you don't want to touch it or have anything that you have your DNA on it. So you're using like that's actually smart what he used to try to cover it up. But I'm very unclear as to, this seems like a complete distraction. Okay, this seems like a complete distraction. This isn't like a are your guys's my stuff sensitive? If you like touched around it like that, you could potentially hit the ring button to like ring your doorbell. It's almost like they wanted this to get found, which would make the ransom note more believable. Leaving this to be found makes the ransom note more believable. Like, yeah, we do have your mom. This is just I find it hard to believe. I hope the family is not first seeing it for the first time, like, right as we were, very curious of when they truly had this. No timestamps at all. It just says Nest. Find that hard to believe. I'm sure they just took that off for all of us, but Man. I don't see any blood in the video yet, but you can't really tell. It's I mean, remember the first alerts? The first alert was that at 1:48 the camera was disconnected. So remember I said, I was like, I don't think that that's the beginning of this. And clearly it's not, because nothing was disconnected. The Ring camera is not disconnected right now. Make sense? So this whole thing of this timeline of 1:48 a.m. So I believe that they put all of this information out to act like to the person that they wanted communication. They were acting like we don't have any of this. There was no subscription. We had to work to get all of this, blah, blah, blah. I think all of this was a lie to us, but they were also lying to the person that took her because they needed them to make a mistake, like reach out, contact, you know what I mean? We don't know what was left inside the house. There could have been a ransom note left actually inside the house. And then here, somebody that processed the scene or got there right away told somebody that. And then lo and behold, we have the stupid shit that's going on in the media is actually not what's going on with what they're dealing with. Like, that's a fake. And for all we know, maybe the government sent the fake out there to make it, to be like, wait, what are these people talking about? That's not us. Like we didn't send the email to we're not asking through Bitcoin. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, just think about all of this shit. They need to play chess, not checkers. And why the hell I would be using the public? I'd be using the media for exactly what I need to do. And so now that I see this, yeah. But why is somebody playing around? Look at that. They want it all. And then I'm telling you this right now, if this is here and that camera was not, it's just right here as it is, they have what happened to her mother on camera, which makes way more sense to me now. We've always just been told that we don't have proof of life. Okay. But like they would have a video of when they would be leaving up out of there, and look at right where the blood is. Look at where the only place that the blood is. They had her looking at that camera and probably wrote down something for her to say. And then they they hit her with something, and that's what caused, and then they put that's what it looks like to me. This looks like we couldn't ruin this camera because we're using this camera. They use this camera after this point, and all the blood's right there. The hit, everything's right there. They used this camera and showed the family. That's my opinion. And whether the law enforcement is acting like there's nothing there, okay? Do whatever you want. Say whatever you want, but now this makes way more sense. They did not get up there and destroy this camera right away. This camera was utilized for something, which means we cannot destroy it yet. We just need to keep it intact, cover this up. We're going to use it then. And when they just said we don't have proof of life, it was, we don't have proof of life after that moment of whatever was on that camera. And so I personally believe you would have taken out this camera. Why the hell would you leave this camera? Why wouldn't you rip it down? You would have. Like, why would you not? No, they needed this camera. They kept this camera. And then they're telling, and then the reason they want to say, there was no, think about all this. So the kidnappers would know, or the kidnapper would know, they go out and tell the public. And that's why Ashley Banfield is an absolute fucking idiot. Okay. That leak going out about the Nest cameras and blah, blah, blah. that is devastating. Whoever told Ashley Banfield the goddamn thing should be fired. Absolutely 1000%, like, fired. No pension, nothing. No questions asked. They kept this video. They kept this this whole disconnected at 148 and 212 outside the house. Fuck that timeline. That timeline doesn't mean shit. You might as well take this, throw it away. They covered up this camera so they could use it. And all where the blood was right in front of this camera. And it's because they used the Ring camera as that was their contact. They showed her that we got her and whatever. Wow. Huge misdirection there, huh? Yep, the cameras have nothing. The cameras, she didn't have the subscription. We're working with all our partners, blah, blah. Saying that there's a new video. Wow. There's got to be sound. There's 1000% sound. This was very well planned. No, he goes over there. He's going over there to pick up the grass. He cannot destroy the camera. He needs the camera. Where the blood is, everything now fits perfectly. He needs that camera. They use that camera to basically they use that for ransom right there. There was a ransom demand, and it wasn't the one that was sent to the fucking media. And the reason that they did that, and the reason that certain outlets got certain things, was because somebody leaked some shit in the beginning and they tried to get in front of it. And so it was like, send all the media over here with this crazy ass shit so that we can do our shit over here. And so claps, Ashley Banfield, one hell of a job. But more importantly, your source is probably going to get fired. But that's what happened. They needed that video. They needed that camera. They did everything in front of that camera. They couldn't destroy it. They didn't destroy it. They go in, or he, she, one person, who knows, more than one person. It doesn't matter. But what tells me now is that they needed this camera. They used the camera at the end. And there was definitely video on it. And there was definitely sound on it. And immediately the first thing that they came out and tried to tell all of us is that the cameras didn't have anything, which that's what you'd want to tell, you know what I mean? Now the question is what did they tell the family? What did they tell the family? No, he wasn't cleaning up anything. He was just protecting himself, like, to not be seen, in my opinion. And then he went and grabbed the the leaves or whatever, not leaves, but the weeds to put over the camera. But they needed that camera. Otherwise, he would have just destroyed it right then and there. They needed it. They used it. This way, they didn't bring any of their own shit. Remember, this whole thing is like, why were they there for 41 minutes? Or this person? I think it's even more than 41 minutes. For all we know, they executed her right there. I mean, I'm not even playing. We have no idea. But I don't. This is absolutely disgusting. This is all sick. This is some fucked up shit. And yeah. I don't think this is the family at all. This is a completely different dynamic now. Wild. Wild. Why would it be the cartel, guys? Why is somebody talking about the cartel? Why would it be the cartel? Explain to me why it would be the cartel. Show me Nancy Guthrie's connections to the cartel. Let's see if anybody's talking down on site. Fucking cartel.
They might be coming here to do something.
Unbelievable.
You know, when the stills were first released, the shadow is going across his face. You can clearly see the shadow. It's above his mouth. And yet, when you look through the hole in the mouth, it looks to me like he might have a mustache. Now, it's not definitive, and it's not enough of a close-up and enhancement, but I think they can do that and look at that because, you know, when you look at anything, well, could that be a shadow? Well, the shadow's not there. The shadow seems to be above there. So that's something I would look at is, could there be
This family hurt somebody.
Mustache.
This family hurt somebody. This is an eye for an eye. This is torture for torture. This is personal. This is like, you fucked with my life. Now I'm going to fuck with yours. That's what it looks like to me. This looks like a, you know, I don't think Nancy did anything to anybody. I think Nancy, though, it's either her or the kids, you know, like I said yesterday, like I got to your mother. Now I can get to your kids. Okay. So I don't know.
And I think it was Tom or Jonathan who said it looked like he was wearing multiple gloves. I agree with that. I think he probably has some, you know, knit gloves underneath those gloves. Those gloves don't look to be leather. They look to be more like vinyl or rubber.
1000%. Those are the good gloves. And I think he's wearing two. I think he's double bagging.
Clothing identifiable, and I think it's very identifiable in pre-operational crime.
You guys, nobody uses the Ring camera. I mean, they're gonna catch on eventually here. Where the blood is exactly where that Ring camera is, Nest camera, whatever. They could have taken out that camera. They didn't. This person did not, because it was part of the plan. We need that camera. Okay. They knew it existed. All right. I'll cover it up until I need it, type of thing. They used something at the scene to do that, not something that they brought. Went in there with a book bag. Okay. This is exactly how Ashley Banfield and everybody believes that Brian Koberger went into a house just like this, but it's just not on camera. Just wow. But then he doesn't destroy the camera. Okay. But he, But right where the blood is all at is going to be right in front of that camera, and then the blood stops. So it's like now it even tells me more is, was there technically blood inside? Okay. So does it look like this? We took her outside right there for whatever, so it could be on camera, say, hey, we have your mom, blah, blah. And then you whack her, so she starts bleeding there. But the reason that we don't see any more blood going past that point is because then the blood trail begins at the start of the door, because then they go out the back way of the house, which leads you to that 212 alert being on camera from the back door, because there's that camera that's in the back. You have we have no idea if it's not forced entry or not. We don't know. They said that they weren't speaking on that.
Pre-crime behavior. I mean, I think that he could have been in a store, and you'll see that the backpack, those reflective, shoulder connectors there. That's an identifiable piece, and he's carrying a lot of kit in there. He seems to be a little bit stocky. I think he's very identifiable to someone who is a significant other, close family relative, close friend, co-worker. I think this guy's identifiable. If you
Well, now I think ransom goes back up to
think, well, that might be so and so, and
this video now brings ransom actually back to the table. I think that they've had these videos though. I don't think that they just got these videos. No fucking way. Are they going to just get them and put them out to the media right when they get them? Come on, guys. They've had the videos for 10 fucking days. 10 days. 10 days.
Wasn't here Saturday night. I might need to call the task force, I call him the $50,000 man. If you know who he is, there's a reward out for $50,000 for the abductors. And this guy clearly is at 2 o'clock in the morning at Nancy's house, with a pistol wrecking her doorbell. So very significant release. The videos are good. The stills are better.
Yeah, the stills are way better.
Backpack, get ATF help on that pistol, and even the
What
holster,
pistol?
see if you can do some identification there. The shoes.
What pistol? Let me see this pistol, man. Let me see this really good image of this pistol.
As well, I mean, each little piece, even the face mask, could have been purchased a week prior to the abduction, and somebody may remember that person, a mask like that, wearing a jacket like that. So there's a lot of evidence here that can help the task force to, establish the lead here that's viable. Okay.
Jim, thank you. I want to take a moment just to acknowledge the
We now have a timeline from about 1:48 a.m. This is confirmed. There was
This video came out. Your observations, and maybe you could speak talking about earlier. This isn't a decision that I'm sure that they take lightly.
No, I've made these decisions in the command posts, and very just the backpack, or hopefully when you look through.
Family knows more than we do, and that they have good reason to.
Right there. We believe she is still alive. Bring her home. Oh, man. We believe she is still alive. Bring her home. Anyone with information, please contact.
Believe that there's a lie?
100% possible that this is something we would.
Enforcement professionals.
Wow.
I think it was Tom or Jonathan who said it looked like he was wearing multiple gloves. I agree with that. I think he probably has some, knit gloves underneath those gloves. Those gloves don't look to be leather. They look to be more like vinyl or rubber.
Besides Nancy, of course, is the only thing that matters. And so that's what it tells us. And it tells us that they're keeping their hope. Savannah and her family believe in the power of prayer. And so they're clearly watching this. They're clearly believing in this. And that's what they've asked for, that she
Well, everything has been a lie. Rightfully so. Why would you tell anybody anything?
be brought home and she'd be brought home alive. And they have to keep that hope alive. And that's who they are. So I think that's what it tells us, number one.
Everybody and anybody saying that this is the family is absolutely out of their goddamn mind. Quote me.
To speak to our point, obviously the family was briefed on this. I think it bears reiterating the family has not been able to identify anybody from this, and there's no close contacts with the family that appear to be this individual as well. And not just, there's been some reporting over the past week that was knocked down by the sheriff's office on that point, but I think it bears repeating here.
Is it also possible that the family knows more than we do? And that they have good reason to believe that there's a lie?
100% possible that the family knows more than us. I think that there's been a pretty regular briefing process that's been described to us from law enforcement as far as what's going on. The contents of those briefings are not something we would be aware of course. But yes, definitely the family would be aware of the investigation.
Thank you, Stephanie.
I would just add, up until these videos and photos today, I think there was really some concern and frustration among the law enforcement professionals as to how few clues and leads
I haven't looked at the band members
that they had, and we've seen so many avenues that they've explored all at the same time. You know, from searching vehicles and houses and going to stores. And
I think there's more video. I think there's a lot more video.
And various drone flights over a property to try to come up with a clue and a lead. But now they have this lead and they can build off this, and it's all systems go as they work with these videos and photos.
Jonathan Dienst, appreciate you being with us. Tom Winter, you as well. To everyone else in the field for us.
He's got some
Kelly O'Donnell in
childbirth and
particular.
hips. He's got some childbirth and hips. Yep. He has his gun in a holster. That's what the white thing is. It looks white because of the light, but maybe it's just, I don't know. It's not white. Maybe it's like metallic gray or some shit, but sick. I don't think he's... Damn.
Alive, and that's who they are. So I think that's what it tells us, number one. To speak to our point, obviously the family was briefed on this. I think it bears reiterating the family has not been able to identify anybody from this, and there's no close contacts with the family that appear to be this individual as well. And not just, there's been some reporting over the past week that was knocked down by the sheriff's office on that point, but I think it bears repeating here.
Is it also possible that the family knows more than we do? And that they have good reason to believe that there's a lie?
100% possible that the family knows more than us. I think that there's been a pretty regular briefing process that's been described to us from law enforcement as far as what's going on. The contents of those briefings are not something we would be aware of course. But yes, definitely the family would be aware of the investigative steps so far.
I think they waited so long to release all of this stuff, guys, because either a leak was coming and so they get in front of it. This was coming. So, okay, let's do it before it gets leaked by something else, and said by someone else. But somebody said, why wait this long? I think that they were trying to act like to the people that had them that we don't have the footage, to try to get them to talk, to try to get them to interact.
Up concern and frustration that they've explored a property, this lead, and they can build off this, and it's also
acting like it's the people that emailed the media. This person be like, what the fuck? I didn't email no media. You know what I mean? I didn't email no media.
Systems go as they work with these videos and photos.
Jonathan Dienst, appreciate you being with us. Tom Winter, you as well. To everyone else in the field for us, Kelly O'Donnell in particular, Jim Kavanaugh, really appreciate you. And one more reminder for our audience, if you have
think they've had this
any
jump.
information on Nancy's disappearance, if you recognize anything in the video or the photos, the tip line is on your screen, 1-800-CALL-FBI or the county sheriff. This concludes this NBC News special report. We return you to NBC News Daily.
All right. Well, I think they may do a presser now. Could be wrong. I mean, they said that they had like a, bunch of new information or something like breaks or something that they would do a presser. I think that they also couldn't release this out there. Let's say all these experts are saying, hey, there's enough out there that somebody could recognize that person as like, oh my God, that's my husband, or that's how he walks and blah, blah. Okay. Yeah. But if you put this out right away, they still have your mom and there's still like this deadline, right? To like pay and get her. And it's like, we don't want to put this out there because then they'll just say, oh my God, people are going to be like, let's just, abandon ship or something. I don't know. Like, why would I don't want to jeopardize her being alive now. According to the family, though, they never received proof of life, right? But was that all a ploy? I mean, I don't know. They're clearly doing everything that they're doing for the purpose of like misdirection through the media. And they're sticking to playbooks that they have. That's what I would do. It's about fucking time. You know what I mean? It's about time. The media wasn't supposed to be about interfering with investigations. Okay. The media is supposed to keep us informed through transparency. And people are crossing that line. Okay. And people are crossing that line and it's affecting justice. It is. So people need to stop. And I think that you should start getting in trouble for it. Okay. It goes back to that whole Dateline leak because I'm telling you, it takes two to tango. The media can't possibly give out information, right? Unless it was leaked to them by somebody inside the investigation. Okay. So it takes two to tango. That person, it goes back to the Idaho 4 case for me, that anybody that dealt with Dateline should be fired. And same thing in this situation. Ashley Banfield, to even know that it was Nest cameras, that it was Nest. How did she know it was Nest? Because she did. She had a source that was inside this investigation. And God knows what else the fuck she was told. It's wrong. All right, we'll be back though. When more stuff happens, we'll be back. Thank you guys for joining. This is gut wrenching, And this is way worse than finding out that your just loved one has been killed and that there they are and they're in that room. And to me, this is like 1 million times worse as like a playing out, it's kind of like also like when somebody goes missing, it's like every single day until you get them back. Even if they're not alive, you still need them back. And to see this play out in the media like this is absolutely awful. And it's the lowest of the low for the human person that's obviously behind that camera right there. They're a piece of fucking human garbage. And God will deal with them, but that's who you're dealing with when you want to talk about a ransom demand. You're dealing with garbage. All right, guys, until next time. Thank you so much. Thank you, all the moderators. Thank you for all the super chatters. Woo. If you turned, we had Kay Schmidt by memberships. We had Sleuther 75 by memberships. We had Dina, and we had Jur 13. I didn't get to see that one. I must have been dancing around. So in this live alone, we got 30 new members. So welcome. Cheers. Thank you so much. Let me just shake this. Thank you, guys. We'll be back, though. Lots more to talk about. We'll be back.